What's going on, my fellow mutants? I guess, Bub. Wow, that was the most awkward intro ever, but we're going to roll with it because we're here for another quarantine live stream. We're all still stuck at home. Probably will be for the foreseeable future. So, once again, I have the day off. Feel like live streaming, so I figured we're going to talk X-Men tonight because I got to hype up that Modern Men at 10 p.m. Eastern. Kind of a monumental episode number 25. Modern Men. The link is down below in the comments section or whatever you want to call it. But nonetheless, we're going to be talking about House of X / Powers of X. Will we figure out if it was too soon to review it? Will it go down in history like Days of Future Past? A lot of other monumental X-Men reads. We'll discuss that all tonight. How long will Drew talk about how good this book is? We only got like an hour and a half to go. So we'll see if he can actually fill up the whole show by himself. Spoilers, yes, he probably can. But nonetheless, before I get into my X-Men collection, I do want to get into the chat. Looks like Common Core Chad snuck in there first. Somehow he got in there for Chris Barrett. I don't know how or why he did. I think he just put first as a joke, and then Chris Barrett just happened to be tailgating anyway and decided to start talking to Chad. But there you go. Weird, crazy things happen. We got Discovery Bay. What's going on, JB? Of course, the gimmick breaks on Chris Barrett. So hopefully we won't be stuck on Chris Barrett's name the whole time this show goes on. As you can hear me smashing the mouse. We're live, pal. But yeah, here we are. Gotta love it. So Chris Barrett, you may be stuck on the stream the whole time now. So great job. You did it. So I wonder if I can. Nope, I can't even click on another banner. This is going great so far. But we got Discovery Bay Comics. What's going on? He's in the chat. Hopefully he'll be a part of the chat tonight. Still nothing. All right, thank you, StreamYards. I love it. And we got Luis Ramirez. What's going on, Luis Ramirez? He is in the chat as well. We got Comic Man Andy in the chat. He'll be joining us tonight on Modern Men. Link is down below. Hopefully. Oh, here we go. I don't know why there's a ticker at the bottom. I was clicking around and yeah, we're live, pal. There we go. All right, here we go. Now we're up and rolling here. So yeah, this is going great already. All right, here we go. Modern Men link down below. Make sure you're there at 10 p.m. tonight. But in the meantime, I practiced this before. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 short boxes next to me. Basically, I have the equivalent of 3 short boxes of X-Men. So, yeah. We're just going to get started. We're going to avoid the extra fluff. If you guys haven't watched these quarantine live streams, basically all I do, I was like, I don't really have anything I can go out and buy right now. All the local shops closed. All the half-price books are closed. I'm not really able to travel because we're not supposed to be. So I'm just pulling out the archives, basically, and showing you guys what I have in the collection. So, to hype up the all X-Men episode of Modern Men, we're just going to show some X-Men books and talk about them. That's all we do here. So we're going to keep it simple. So in this first one, I'm not going to go into all the crazy spinoffs. Like I could show X Factor, which phenomenal underrated run. Hey, I got it signed by Peter David. I could talk all day about the X Factor run, but in the service of time, I'm going to skip a bunch of that type of stuff. If I see a book I kind of like, I may pull it out and talk about it, but I'm going to primarily focus on your main run X-Men books. Like we could talk about, hey, look at that, all new X-Men, or all new X Factor signed by Peter David. But we also have it. Also, if you guys ever go live, Lipton tea is good. It's not good on the throat, so I apologize for my gravelly throat right now. It's not doing me any favors. Here's all new X-Men. I put this Bendis run in our vote for Comic Core for tonight, and it got slaughtered in the running by House of Powers of X. It got 2% of the vote. So not a lot of Bendis all new X-Men fans out there, but I particularly enjoyed this run. You got some good Stuart Eminem art on it throughout the run, which who doesn't love Stuart Eminem? I'll try to get to the earlier issues of that. Here you go. Here is issue number 1. So it was a connecting cover as well. So you got to love that. And then I think, yep, I got a J. Scott Campbell Midtown Comics variant of that same issue 1. Absolutely love that cover. It is a part of a 3-part connecting cover. I think I actually have the Avengers one up there. And then I think there was either a New Avengers or Uncanny Avengers one as well that goes with this. So pretty cool J. Scott Campbell triple cover there. Here's some Secret Wars action, Years of Future Past. Not a fan of the Secret Wars spinoffs. A lot of gimmicks thrown in at the exact same time. It was just oversaturation of the market. Here we got an X-Men Legacy Scotty Young variant. So Scotty Young's take on Legion. Not a big Scotty Young guy, but oh well. Still kind of a cool book to have in the collection. X-Force. You got to love the 90s gimmicks. Here's the Phalanx Covenant. Look at that shiny goodness on that cover. I think this is the first appearance of somebody doing something as usual. I love these two. The Fatal Attractions. I almost nominated this for the Modern Men vote last week. But yeah, I just love those holofoil cards. This is the run where Wolverine loses adamantium when Magneto just snaps at him. So yeah, I'm sure. Oh, look at that. That card looks beautiful in that spotlight. Look at that. Gotta love holofoil 90s card goodness. And then here's Executioner's Song, still in the original poly bags it came in. This one happened to comes with a Strife card there. Guess I may as well just show off what else is in these. You get Mr. Sinister, and then Cable. So there you go. Gotta love more 90s. As you can see, X-Men was the forefront of gimmicks. What's not to love there? Really cool Greg Capullo X-Force 15 cover. Deadpool versus Cable. What's not to like there? And issue number 11. First true appearance of Domino, I guess. I don't know. Don't really care. Like I said, I'll actually... Well, I keep saying that, but I keep rolling across these key issues. I got this one for like 20 cents. Second appearance of Deadpool. Here's one of those other books. It's kind of like First Omega Red. Don't pay a lot of money for this book. It's in every dollar bin. If you need this book, hit me up, I guess. But like, I see people like hyping this up. It's like, oh, it's the second appearance of Deadpool. You got to run out and buy it. Blah blah blah. Don't pay more than $1 for this. I'm telling you, it's out there. And for some reason, in the same bag, new X-Men 115. I love this run. E for Extinction. Part 2 of 3. First appearance of Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And I believe that's the B cover for it. So let's see what else we got. I'm not even going to show X-Force number 1. You already know what that looks like. Here's a fun one. X-Force number 1 from the Craig Kyle and Chris Yost run. I think I got this in like a crazy like $20 tote bag sale, but I absolutely love this run. You get some phenomenal Clayton Crane art. It's written by the same guys who brought you Avengers Earth Mightiest Avengers, and a lot of, I think Chris Yost wanted to work on a lot of the MCU stuff. So phenomenal read. Can't recommend that one enough. Now I promise you we're getting to some older books, but I keep running the stuff I want to show off. Here's the other really good run. Uncanny X-Force. Got that one signed by Rick Remender, C2E2 2012. I actually sold the first issue of this in an auction as that the J. Scott Campbell one. So kind of wish I wouldn't have sold it, but I did. But nonetheless, another great run. Phenomenal sequel to the Kyle and Yost X-Force. And it stands on its own, of course, so you can read them all both together or separately. Think you'll like them both. So, and you get some good covers in that run as well. We got Phil Ailing. What's going on, Phil? How you doing tonight? Discovery Base says that Crane cover is fire. You know what else is fire? Everything he did in that book. He does the interiors. He does like the first whole series of covers. If you like Clayton Crane art, hunt down that entire run. You will not regret it. And Chris Barrett's talking about Magneto ripping people in half. What's not to love there? Let's get to some old stuff. I think this is technically the oldest X-Men book I own. I would love to start collecting, the first run X-Men, like 1 to the 50s, whenever it started getting the reprints. But everybody's looking for those books. Most of the people probably in the chat now are looking for these books. They're not going down anytime soon because hype for movies. So I kind of just gave up on trying to get the early Silver Age stuff of X-Men, but I do have a few to show off. Here's a potato of a copy of X-Men number 25. You can see on the sides there, it's got a couple chunks missing out of it, but I think I got this for a few bucks at an antique shop. So you get these for a few bucks. You can't complain about it at all. Pretty much any of like these very original run X-Men, if you get them for like less than $5, you may as well get them in like poorest condition. It's still worth it though. Here's X-Men number 31. Once again, missing a corner down there and a few other spots, but still cool to have. And then let's see what else we got. We got X-Men at number 37. At least I put this one in a Mylar bag. This one actually doesn't look half bad. Never mind. I'm just looking at the spine ticks now. But at least the other corners don't look as bad as those other ones. But like I said, I would love to have the whole Silver Age X collection. But like I said, you're paying like almost $20 a book, which that's not for me. So that's all I'll show from that box. Let's see if I can break this fold in half table in half by putting 4 short boxes on it. That's the one thing. So stay tuned to see if this table here just pops right in half. Could get interesting. All right. So we're going to show the cream of the crop right here, basically. Sorry, can't do my Macho Man voice tonight. It's kind of jacked up. Here's X-Men 44. I need to change the Mylar on this. I put it in like the silver size one. It just needs to go into standard, but still beautiful copy. 44, an angel cover on there. So love that one. I think this is like one of the first ones I ever got. Had to have been. Here's issue number 45. I think I either got this one off Alex the Comic Order or the Doom 143 because they were nice enough to like label the Iceman Origins on the back and that stuff. But I do remember getting this. I think I got these off Doom, actually. I got these in an auction like way back when, before I started doing the Livestream channel thing here. But yeah, like this run of covers for sure. And here's one. This one took me a minute to get, but I really want it because I always like the any Marvel Silver Age Steranko stuff. I absolutely love. So here's the first appearance of Polaris and the origin of Beast. And big thanks once again to Doom for labeling his books with notes. I thought that was pretty cool. So you get some really good Steranko art in here, which like I said, I'm a sucker for Silver Age Marvel Steranko. Phenomenal art. And then probably next up, of the Silver Age, definitely like my favorite cover for sure. Here's X-Men number 50. I'll probably have to bring this one back out for Modern Men tonight to show off. But I think this is actually an upgraded copy for me. So I had my original I got off Doom. Then my shop was selling this for like $15 maybe was it. So I actually got a really good price on this book twice and then just sold the other one for basically what I paid for it originally. So yeah, absolutely love this book. You get the second appearance and origin of Polaris, I believe, but just look at that beautiful green Steranko cover. Like it doesn't get any better than that for Silver Age X-Men, in my opinion. So definitely love this book. One of my favorites in the collection. I'm definitely holding that to the side to show off tonight on Modern Men. Of course, when you're getting the Steranko ones, you also have to get issue number 51, which you get more Steranko goodness. Wouldn't mind getting an upgrade on this one eventually of my, I guess Steranko trilogy of books there. This one's in the weakest condition, but I think I paid like less than $10 for it on the Bay. That's the only way I could find it, unfortunately, around here. But and then the other note on 50, it had the classic X-Men logo up top. It was the first time they featured it, was issue 50, and they kept rolling with it after. So absolutely love that. See what Chris Barrett's saying in the chat. He says, once I get my stimulus check, I am crossing 28 off my list. Very good. Then you get issue 52. So like I said, I got a healthy assortment of X books here, but as you can see here, I skipped all the way to 84 after that. So starting to get one or two. I think this is my only reprint, actually. I don't have a lot of them. There's been times I thought about buying a few, but for whatever reason, I'm just not into the reprint era. I mean, if I see them cheap, I'll get them, but that's the thing. I don't see these that cheap either. So I just end up never getting them. So, and then it gets good from there. This is the run I'm trying to fill in and get going, basically. And I think, fortunately, like everything else X-Men, a lot of people are going after this. So unfortunately, I don't have a 94. That's like, I guess if I had a 2020 want list, actually, I think it was on my 2018 want list, that transitioned into my 2019 want list. I still don't have that book, but I do have issue number 95. It is in desperate need of a rebagging, and I think it needs a big, huge pressing on it. But I got this for a steal of a deal and an eBay lot. So happy to have that in the collection nonetheless. But yeah, like I said, it is in dire need of a press. Looks like, I don't know if it's like clear water damage or something, but at least it's not stained. It actually looks pretty good on camera, but if you hold it up close, you definitely would, I don't know if, it still didn't come out that well. You just have to take my word for it. Definitely needs a press. Here's issue number 96. And I think this is, if I remember right, I think this is the Moira issue. So I just got done reading House and Powers again. So pretty cool book to have after reading that for sure. So, and this is actually a pretty nice copy in my opinion. So very happy to, I was very happy to get this one before the whole Hickman run hit the way it did. So really cool book to have for sure. Just love that yellow background on there. Let's see who else we got in the chat here. It looks like, I don't know if Disco's trying to make a deal with Chris Barrett or they're just looking for X-Men together. But nonetheless, that's still cool. Mylar Magic for sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love that Mylar Magic. We got Comic Books NYC. What's going on, Kavi? He just had a live stream as well, so definitely click on his channel. Hopefully that live stream is uploaded so you guys can view it, but he was showing off his haul earlier, so definitely go check him out. We got issue number 97, and this one does have a, I think it's a little bit separated on that second staple there, but still, like I said, low grade, no grade. You guys know the rest. Issue number 98. Actually, I think I had a couple copies of this. I may give it. Actually, JB may have the other copy I had this at one point. I can't remember, but I know I definitely moved a copy of issue 98 at one point. And then issue number 99, pretty solid. I know there's some Mylar Magic on here, but once again, I think that's a pretty solid copy of 99. So, been enjoying filling up this run. Yep, I did put issue 100 in here, so at least I have issue 100 to show off. So there's that. I did have to get this from my local shop, so I think I paid probably $20 for it, but supported my local shop, so I was happy to do so. So I can't say I found this in the wild or anything. I had to go to my local shop to get that, but it was one of those ones I'm missing. And then going back to what I was talking about, 94, I'm going to attempt this tea again because I'm thirsty. Yeah, pal. Listen, yeah, don't. That's my last sip of that. I'm going to drink water again. Sorry, it just gets in your back of your vocal cords. But anyway, you're tired of hearing me ramble about iced tea. 101, first appearance, Phoenix. Kind of like X-Men 94. Continues to elude me for the price I want to pay for it. So that would be number 2 on my want list, I suppose. And then I skipped to 103, which it kind of doesn't look too bad, except for it's got, someone had some tape pull where it says all new up there. So that was kind of devastating, but nonetheless, still a decent copy minus that. See you later, JB. I'll see you in about an hour and a half. He says, catch you later during that Modern Men. I know he's pretty pumped for that. Who isn't? We're talking X-Men tonight. Beautiful cover on X-Men 105. And then 106. So, like I said, just happy to have this much of the early 100 collection. I'm trying to think of how much I got those for. Why is it in this bag still? Can't wait till those new Mylars show up. This one's getting rebagged for sure, but here's issue 107. And then I skip all the way to 115 with Sauron. Can't remember if it's first appearance or not. You guys can tell me. Still a pretty sinister Sauron cover. And then we go right to 116. So, yeah, definitely. Here, I definitely upgraded this one. I think when I sold that 98, I sold a 117 as well because I had one that looked like it was just like ran over by a car. But I have a much better version now of 117. I think this is if I remember, I think this is first Shadow Demon. So good stuff there. And then 118. Sunfire once again. He's having a bad day. Just as one of those fun X-Men that no one cares about. Sunfire, poor guy, getting blasted on the cover. 119. Oh, good. I thought I was like missing a chunk up top, but it's actually in pretty good. Oh, thank you, Chris. He says, Sauron is issue number 60. Thank you for that. See, I knew someone would come through. And then 120, Chaos in Canada. You got some Alpha Flight action here. I think I actually have this graded as well. I didn't realize I had 2 copies of this. Of course, the grade's probably better. Got a couple spine ticks on it. Still, that Mylar magic in full effect on that one. Got 121, more greatness from Dave Cockrum. You just gotta love this whole era of X-Men. X-Men number 122. Can't wait to see where that break is. I think I got a nice streak of X books here. So there's 123. I always like the Arcade's Murder World cover there. And then let's see. Yep, 124. Always thought he looked like Mario on that cover. That was kind of weird. He has like the little Mario plumber cap and the overalls. I'm not sure what look they were trying to go for, but I'm guessing it wasn't Mario since this was released in 1979. So thought that was kind of weird, but kind of funny at the same time. We got 125. Great Phoenix cover there. Love that one. Oh, look at this. We got Stay Puft 1983 is in the chat. What is going on, Stay Puft? Nice to see you out and about tonight. And Kavi is enjoying the books. Thank you, Kavi. 126. Always really like this cover as well. In Search of Mutant X. Mr. 127. Mutant X is, of course, Proteus, the deadliest mutant alive. We'll be talking a little bit about Proteus tonight and our House and Powers of X review on Modern Men on the Comic Core channel. Link, once again, for those of you just joining us, is down below. And we got Mike Sanchez is in the chat. What is going on, Mike? Nice to see you in the chat. We got 128. It's, again, more Proteus action there. I remember really liking the Proteus on the animated series during that episode. It was the first time you saw Wolverine have fear. And then, of course, I used to have a signed copy of this, but I think I sold it in that same lot I've been talking about. But I do have a upgraded copy of mine of Uncanny 129. Of course, First Kitty Pryde, First Emma Frost. A phenomenal book that you should probably have in your collection very soon before Movie Spec knocks this one out of the park. It's still easily attainable. I highly recommend getting this book. And you get the whole Hellfire Club stuff too. So phenomenal run of X-Men right here. I remember like getting this too. My brother got like this whole next part of the run for me for a Christmas present once. And for the longest time, they were like the best. Well, they're still great books, of course, but they were some of like the finest books in my collection. So most of these other ones, they've been read a few times because I read them when I was, a kid when he got them for me. But yeah, this is the start of like my signed Claremont book. So I got this beautiful Dazzler copy, issue 130, signed by Chris Claremont right there. I believe that was Wizard World 2004 Chicago, if I remember right. I got a bunch of these signed by Claremont, so I got issue 130. And, of course, I was a jerk college student. I just took the whole stack, and he was nice enough to sign them all. But I got issue 131 signed by Claremont as well right there where he likes to sign. Issue number 132 signed by Claremont. Of course, Hellfire Club has just annihilated most of the X-Men except for Wolverine, who's stuck in the sewers. He's like, now it's my turn, bub. So, iconic moment in the X-Men world there. One of the best panels ever, and it leads up into this fight in issue 133, where Wolverine lashes out. And of course, once again, signed by Chris Claremont right there. And then it starts getting the more of the Dark Phoenix Saga, issue 134, Claremont signature. And as you can kind of see on that camera angle, definitely needs a press one of those days. But like I said, I had these since I was a kid, and they have been well read, basically. One of my favorite covers, X-Men 135. Just Dark Phoenix not having their way with even the logo. So the team's been taken out. The logo doesn't stand a chance. Another great book. I think this next one, yeah, this is the what was JD calling the Pieta covers or what? He can correct that for me, but Pieta, there we go. Issue 136, signed by Claremont. That special issue, of course, where they kind of extinguish the Dark Phoenix. She kind of becomes the Marvel Girl again into issue 137. But the Shi'ar Empire wants their justice. So this is the game changer book right here. Special double size, but hey, this Marvel comic could be worth $2,500 like a lot of other ones. So 137. I got several copies of this one in the collection, but this is the first one I had. So of course it's got the Claremont signature on it. And like I said, I have several copies. This is a more clean copy of it for me. So yeah, no signature there, but still a higher clean copy of that. And then I could win a Toys R Us shopping spree because I own issue number 138 where Cyclops leaves the team. Got it signed by Claremont in the same spot as usual. Yeah, as you can tell, great run. One of my favorites ever. Issue 139, Kitty Pryde issue where she joins the team. So as people leave and get killed off, they bring in new people like Kitty. Once again, signed by Claremont. Issue 140, we got Wendigo. So gotta love that issue. Signed by Claremont up at the top. And then my 141's on the wall. You've probably seen that in my room tour video. So we're going to have to skip that because it's still on the wall. And I have one camera, but we'll go to issue number 142. Signed by, I think that's the last one of that run. I got signed by Chris Claremont. Of course, the newsstand copy there. Got to love it. And then this issue, Everybody Dies. So this has been on my wall several times. So always love the Days of Future Past. It's a good run. Apparently, I need a 144, so I guess that's where the break was at for me finally in the run. But I do have this issue 145. Always love that Doctor Doom cover. So one of the best right there. One of the best villains for sure in the Marvel Universe. 146. Another arcade. Or no, I'm sorry, that's Murder World. Gotta love it, though. So, yep. 147. Rogue Storm. Issue number 148. Get a lot of the ladies on there, like Dazzler, Spider-Woman, and Storm. Yeah, Chris Barrett calls it the Cosby cover. Oof. Oof. We go 149. And then I have an issue 150. So actually, I think I just bought an issue 150 from my local shop for a few bucks, but the one I used to have looked like it. I just stepped on it, so I think I just gave it away or sold it for a couple bucks. But we got 152, 153. Always like that cover as well. 154, and this is one of those runs like. I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen more doubles. I think I've at least like tried to filter out as many doubles and resell as many as possible because I don't know. You see these covers for $2, and you just want to keep buying them. Looks like we got Iron Spider in the chat. He says, "Please subscribe to me. I make awesome Marvel videos. So if you guys like Marvel, definitely sub up Iron Spider." Chris Barrett says, "When's the next Seawood auction?" Yeah, kind of taking a break from all the auction stuff lately. I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe one day I'll return to it, but I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm building my collection more right now, if that makes sense. I just set up another shelf for more books. Here we got issue 157. Very beautiful, very fine endearment copy on that one. I don't know who I bought this off of, but they put it in like 2 or 3 boards there. So shout out to whoever that person was, probably Alex or Doom once again. Look at this. We got Mainframe Comic-Con now has their own YouTube channel. He says, wow, this is the best live stream. Thanks, Mainframe Comic-Con. Appreciate it. Definitely check out that channel ASAP. We got 159 right here. And I believe that is, yep, Bill Sienkiewicz. So you got to love Bill Sienkiewicz on X-Men. Chris Barrett says, so when does Legend come out of retirement again for the next auction? We're working on that. We'll see. Here's issue 160. And we skipped to 166 where they're fighting the Brood. Apparently it's the, someone wrote on there, the first appearance of Lockheed. So you got to love it for Lockheed. Issue number 167. Pieta. There you go. Mainframe Comic says, Legend will return from retirement after he gets done watching The Man in High Castle or High Tower. I always get them mixed up too. Oh, try not to pull out everything here. 169. Got this one for $2. I left the sticker on there. So there's that. Kind of a random way to do a cover, but I kind of dig it where they like have their perspective of what's going on. They probably should have just colored it a little better so you can tell what's going on, but kind of dig it. Early Rogue on 173. Old skunk haircut. Who doesn't love that? 175. So these are the ones I'm trying to build my run around, just getting them for like $2 or less. So usually when it comes about this point, if it's like more than $2, I'll probably just try to find it later for $2 or $1 or 50 cents. Luckily, I did not pay $3 for this one. But hey, newsstand. There you go. 180. 184. Once again, antique booth purchase for $2. Rogue Public Enemy on 185. And we got 186. A Life, Death, a Love Story. Forge and Storm. And 188. 190. 194. And I got to read Barrett's quote here. He says, I mean, I've got my golden ticket. I'll make my debut if it gets Legend out of retirement. So we're definitely, I have to screen capture this moment right here. So Chris is saying if Legend does an auction, he will join the auction and make his debut. So you heard it here first. I'm not going to forget that, Chris. I will let Legend know that for sure. So we got 197. Dr. Doom, once again, owning the X-Men, except it's John Romita Jr. this time. And, oof, a little rough for Romita Jr., but I like his Colossus back there at least. This Doom, not so much. Then we got issue 200. So you get Magneto in that purple M costume. Now I skipped to 203. Phoenix versus the Beyonder. I think this is full like X Factor era. Secret Wars 2. 204. I said, oh, we're already past the half-hour point. Oh, I was going to say I was going to start blowing through them faster, but I always like the Barry Windsor Smith stuff. 205. Some excellent art in there. Weapon X. 206. JR. Skunkhead Rogue. Mainframe Comic-Con says, I think, Chris, we can get that to happen. Excellent. Get 207. Pretty sweet Wolverine cover right there. Number 208, more John Romita Jr. 209, some Nimrod. And then people love these things. The 25th anniversary Marvel cover on 211. The Battle Damage Wolverine. I hope I didn't pay $8 for that. I think this was a pretty good deal, except it's a little beat. Issue 212, Wolverine versus Sabretooth. Phenomenal cover on that one. And I only paid $2 for it. Like I said, it's not the best condition, but still a great reader copy for $2. 214. Love that Storm haircut. We got 215, Alan Davis. They always had some of the best artists on these books, for sure. It's like Arthur Adams on 218. I love you some Arthur Adams. Mainframe, I don't know. So basically, Chris Barrett needs to get that fiber, is what he's saying. So hashtag Barrett get fiber. You can start using that now. And we get some Mark Silvestri on 220. Love Mark Silvestri. And that kind of starts the era of Silvestri going into Jim Lee. Just like first appearance of Sinister right here on 221. I think I actually got a couple copies of this. I found it cheap once, and then I got it in a contest from, I think it's like a Daz the Key Chaser. I think I won his contest way back when, and he was nice enough to give me a copy of this. So I think I got at least 2 copies of that. So there's my second one. Just a good book to have right now. And then 222, another Wolverine Sabretooth fight. Just another great cover there. Silvestri. And then 223, Storm. And then 224, probably Arthur. No, it's Silvestri, actually. Figure with long shot it'd be Alan Davis. But nope, it's Silvestri. Chris Barrett says, X-Men is Marvel's main title. Yeah, at least in the 90s it was, but could it be again? Well, I wonder what to call their main title now. More Silvestri on 226. Fall of the Mutants. One of the storylines I need to sit down and fully read one day. I think I got this one signed by Rick Leonardi, issue 228. And there's the signature right there. Let's see what else we got here. Of course, 229. More Mark Silvestri action on that one. And, of course, 230 is next. Entire short box of X-Men. I might have to just make this a 2-parter. The phenomenal Brood cover right there. Eventually, I gotta get some things ready for Modern Men. We're almost a 45 minutes here. More of the Brood on 233. Another Rick Leonardi signature on 235. And let's see, of course, 236. So there we go. Chaos and Comics questions. What's after 230? 231. You got it, man. Congratulations. Oh, look at this. We got Drew Manchu as well in the chat. What is going on, Drew? I know he's excited, to say the very least, to talk some X-Men tonight. And Chris says they need to bring back John Romita Jr. and Marvel and give him X-Men and Daredevil. That's the only way I'd buy him. I think they at least need to bring John Romita Jr. back to make him try to draw again. This Superman stuff, the less said about the better. I'm sorry. I think I showed 236 already. Here's 237. All aboard the mutant train. Yeah, the Drew's asking if I'm sharing out the link. Definitely look down below if you guys are interested in that link for Modern Men tonight. Chaos and Comics says too soon for Hoxpox. Right up, but we'll watch anyway. I kind of agree, Chaos and Comics. I was hoping for some Jim Lee X-Men 92 action. But yeah, we're going to end up reading House and Powers of X. Not even 6 months old yet, complete, but we're going to read it anyway. So I kind of agree with you, Chaos and Comics. I kind of agree with you, buddy. Drew actually likes the new 52 Superman stuff. I think the optometrists are I butchered my own joke there. Let me try again. I think the optometrists are still open, Drew, if you need to go get a pair of glasses. There you go. Sorry about that once again. We got Bear Island Comics. I talk about X-Men and Bear Island shows up. What's going on, man? Nice to see him in the chat tonight. Yeah. Chaos, he's knocking it out of the park on these. He says, he's asking Drew, how is he not going to talk for an hour? That's what I'm asking myself, man. I don't know. I really don't want to have a 3-hour episode tonight of Modern Men, but we're going to see tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. So I can't wait. Drew, he's talking up House and Powers. I can't wait. I got my hot takes saved up for House and Powers. I know Bear Island likes some hot takes, unless they have to do with Batman the Animated Series. But I got a couple hot takes I'm saving just for Drew tonight. So I can't wait for that. And we got more Silvestri on the Inferno storyline. And the originals, of course, were back in X Factor around then. 243. Newsstand. Drew says he will do his best. And, of course, like I said, Bear Island, he loves those Batman hot takes. Here you go. Here's 244. Shout out to Alec Whitewell Comics. I know he likes him some Jubilee. Of course, first appearance of Jubilee. I think, yeah, of course, I got this one. This is one of those ones on, you get it from an eBay seller. Thank God I didn't pay $10. I think I paid like $1 or $2. But, when they show it on eBay, the bottom part is covered up kind of like that it is on the camera angle, but then you get it at home, and lo and behold, there's a whole corner missing out of the cover. So good job, eBay seller. You hid but when you pay $1 or $2 for like whatever, it's still in the collection, still a reader copy. 245 Liefeld, not his best or worst, but you can tell the Liefeldy goodness in there. Let's see, we got 246 Master Mold, 247, nice like purpley Silvestri cover there. 248, first Jim Lee. And then they even wrote Newsstand on the back. Once again, I think I got this from a Doom auction on Alex Comic Orders channel. But yeah, cool one to have in the collection. I'd like to get the second print at some point just to have the other cover. 249, more Silvestri. Then 250. I think they had this one as a kid as well. I got it in like a 50-cent bin. But yeah, Polaris no more. Let's see how far we can get in the short box. One of the more iconic covers. I don't know why I didn't get this one signed. 251. I met Mark Silvestri last year. I don't think I took, obviously they're not signed, so I didn't take these with me, but I should at least took this one and got Silvestri to sign it. Plus, I only paid $1 for it. So you got to love it. 252. And we're almost through this box here. We got about 3 more books. 253. And then we got 2 more. 254. Legend is Born. And then last one is 255. Luckily it wasn't 256. Wow, this one's in rough condition. I won't lie, but yeah, so there's that. I think we're going to close up on the short box. And then I picked a couple highlights to show off that I had separated for potential grading at some point. So figured, yeah, we're about 1 minute to 45 minutes. So we'll go ahead and just put the exclamation point on this haul, I suppose. I'll save the other 2 boxes. We'll do something on Wednesday. How about that? We'll do another quarantine live stream. Let's talk about more X-Men or something goofy like that. Maybe I'll show off some hardcovers to balance the stuff. Then, yeah, of course, I'm having the Tuesday night live stream. Now I'll talk a little bit more about that after I show these books. But, of course, the big 3 X-Men books I have in my collection. Got the first appearance of Gambit last year at the end of that year. I think I got in October or November from my local shop. He was only charging like $35 for it, I think, because he had like I think he said there was a crease. I don't even see the crease that he was talking about. Oh yeah, it's like the tiniest one down there. Like it barely breaks color, but he decided to like shave the cost of it in half because of just that the world's tiniest color break there. So happy to have this one in the collection. It's one of the ones I always kind of wanted as a kid. I always liked Gambit on the animated series, so I thought that was a cool one to have in the collection. It was kind of like one of those few books. And the run I just showed, this was like one of the few keys I needed just to make sure I completed that whole run right there. So definitely happy to have that. And of course, won this one in a Spider-Man booth box way back when. So I'll show it off one more time. Giant Size X-Men #1. So got this in a mystery box that I paid $30 for. I cannot beat that. It'll probably be the luckiest thing I ever get in my collection by far. Book I definitely thought I would never obtain or own in the collection. So probably going to put this on a wall somewhere in my home at some point. So yeah, Giant Size X-Men. The condition on it, probably about right in the middle. I'd say probably like 5. I don't know if I'd call it quite a 6, but there's definitely a couple issues on the side there, as you can see by Gene's elbow. And then a little bit of a separation on the spine toward the very bottom, as is most of the Giant Size Bronze and Silver Age books. But other than that, it's not bad at all. I opened it up once, and I was just like, I don't want to damage it at all, risk damage it, so I immediately put it back in the bagging board. And then, of course, the last one I got to show off, because I got to show it off, I guess, as often as I possibly can, is Hulk 181, first appearance of Wolverine. Iconic cover. Always wanted it since I knew what comics were. So to get this for the price I did for my local shop, probably the second luckiest acquisition I have ever had in my collection, to say the least. It's better than having money in the bank. But yeah, I would probably never sell this unless I get a better copy. So absolutely happy with this copy here. So yeah, gotta love the X-Men. So with that, big thanks to everyone for joining me. I left the previous quarantine live stream link down below, so you get to hear me talk about Teen Titans and all that fun stuff. Had a lot of fun talking Titans and some of my all-time favorite storylines in comics. And of course, tonight we'll be doing Modern Men, talking about X-Men, House of Powers X review. Plus, we're just talking all things X-Men. We're going to talk some of our favorite X-Men moments, storylines, characters, maybe going back to the movies for a second. We're just going to kind of shoot the breeze after we got a review done about X-Men and maybe show off some more books like this. So definitely enjoy that. And tomorrow, I have to work. Actually, I won't be having a live stream tomorrow. Never mind, I have to work. So you won't see me again on this channel until Wednesday. I'll probably be doing another quarantine live stream with X-Men Part 2, because I literally have my entire second half of my X-Men collection to show. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So once again, those of you who found the stream, because I know StreamYards and YouTube, no one's getting along right now in that digital world. So a big thanks for hunting down the stream and subbing up to me and probably having those notifications on, because how else would you know this is going on now? But just big thanks for joining me, guys. And once again, have a wonderful night. See you in an hour.